Pito. Poof. Yuppie.
Yes, sire.
Poof. That's right, you are known as Poof. So then tell me, what is my name?
We all have a certain image or depiction of ourselves in our mind, most likely in a favorable manner. That helps, shapes our belief about ourselves and directly impact the people we socialize with and interactions we have with others. It is desirable to have a strong sense of identity because of the tangible benefits that it brings. People who have a strong identity often stand out more and gather more nostalgic responses from the mass whenever they are gone and buried compared to the average person. They are more memorable, and if you observe things in depth like most of us do, you'll find that most persons with a strong sense of identity are often successful, glamorous, well-defined, and sometimes even well trusted in the eyes of society. Having a strong sense of identity can be equally dangerous like it can be profitable. The drive to protect your identity and stay true to the values that your identity birthed can cause you pain, suffering, or maybe your death. Your identity starts with the smallest fabric of your existence. The alphabetical sequence that commands your attention and defines your presence is arguably the most important facet of your identity. That alphabetical sequence is your name, and it is the initiation process that we all undergo as soon as we are born. The Chimera and King Meruem was born missing that crucial facet of his identity, and his behavior was directly affected as a result. The significance of a naming system within a culture is a major identifier for most anthropologists in identifying which group of people were more primitive and unorganized compared to other cultures who named their members. Amongst all cultures today across the world, names are essential in preserving their cultural ancestry and their family legacy. The title of king didn't bother Meruem one bit until he was asked his true name. That question tossed him into a state of confusion and eventually led him on a quest to search for his missing identity. The sense of a personal identity and its uniqueness that a name gives us is at the heart of why names are in our best self-interests. In spite of its importance as an identifier, names can have a serious psychological effect on people, especially children, which Meruem and his royal guards were essentially. In a very real sense, we are all consumers of our names and have the right to know about the psychological, magical, legal, and ethnic aspect of our names. It essentially shapes our identity. Your identity should act as a self-reinforcing sense of nature. If you are convinced of the type of person that you are, then you will generally be more likely to act accordingly and also interpret your behavior in accordance with this belief. That missing sense of both his identity and a self-imposing purpose had Meruem taking pride in the title of the word king and acting according to the mission the queen intended for him to carry out, instead of him shaping his own ideals through his real identity. Identity makes it so much easier for us to model both ourselves and other people. The drive to protect your identity can be overpowering and beneficial. One question that always ponders my mind regarding Meruem's character is who he was as a human being before being devoured by the queen. Was he a businessman? A lawyer? Just a regular person? Those answers are probably wrong, since his existence is said to be the product of his entire species' evolution. However, despite the multitude of different individuals within him, I'm kinda surprised that one distinct personality didn't come to the surface. On his journey to learn his name and to discover his true identity, Meruem began to question his purpose. He started to understand that he was more than just the title of the king, and was way more than just his status as a supreme being to rule over all. He started to seek an individualistic identity that would satisfy his being with individualistic beliefs, individualistic desires, and individualistic emotions. Meruem choosing to live his final few hours of his life by demanding to be identified by his name, and also him choosing to die doing an activity that he chose to play, rather than him spending his last minutes doing the duties of the king that was passed on to him to do by the queen. Meruem learning his true identity came as a result of him being awakened to his side of humanity. This video can also serve as a gateway to the bigger discussion of Meruem discovering his humanity. I will definitely cover that topic in the future, but as of now, his identity and the importance of having an identity in general is what is to be focused on in this video. This video is a bit shorter than my usual content, but this topic isn't anything that is warranting of a 20-minute video or longer. I hope you learned something from this video. See you in the next one. Stay safe. Lando out. Exodus.